Each time you turn your ignition on and crank your car to start, there's a lot of things that happens which you really didn't take note of because you're just behind the steering. So in today's video, I'm going to be taking my time to explain this to you, and it's very interesting. A simple trick. Good morning, welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Cool. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to solve full engine power no longer available. This very video is exclusively only for Beamers. Beamers, where are you guys? Get out here. That are in South Africa, United States of America, and the rest of them. First of all, I gotta congratulate most people who use Beamers because a lot of people have criticized these cars. Aside being astronomical cars that have impressive, impeccable, high performance, it's still criticized that it's money pit. Well, the minute silent. Now let's go back. That minute has been overdue. So when you have a full engine power no longer available, what does that mean? I've actually showed and highlighted 2 videos about this very issue in my channel, but I never reviewed how I solved it. Why? Because sometimes people don't value when you give them something so freely, so cheaply, so fast, right? So if you delay it, make a hesitation, they're going to value it, right? So most of the people who have these cars, they are ready to spend their money. But what I'm getting on my YouTube channel are most of bunch of unserious people who are just looking for free information to scavenge. And then I wasn't ready to release the information. So today, I'm about to give you all you need to know about this guy. So full engine power, what it means, and how to solve it. Full engine power is a way which it's not a problem. It's a fail-safe mode which the BMW master engineers put in order to save the engine from catastrophic failure. But when you have, it's more like having a parachute in a jet fighter. So when you have a problem, you can eject. So that's a parachute. When you start seeing that, it's telling you to press the button, doesn't mean that you have a problem. It's trying to save your life. So the first way how to solve a full engine power no longer available is first of all to scan your car and check for turbo lag. If you have a turbo lag in your, no matter the make and model of your BMW, that could actually be the main reason why you have a full engine power no longer available. Because when you have a turbo lag, it actually means that the engine power is not completely being fully optimized. It's not being fully harnessed, and since it's not fully harnessed, it's gonna create more problem. And one of those problems is that the engine is gonna run poor. So you want to first of all try to check for it using a scan tool, and if you find it, go ahead and fix it. No matter what the problem is, it could be the little guy right there that actually helps to close up the boost and maintain a safety booster pressure and not to allow overboost that's going to actually blow things out of proportion. The second way to solve reduced full engine power no longer available is checking the oil viscosity and the oil quality present inside your engine. This is quite a little bit hard. Why? Because most BMW owners, except in Western world, does not practice DIY. But since you don't practice DIY, you can feed this information to your mechanic who hasn't really got advanced into fixing BMWs. Now, why is that? Because most of them does not have a dipstick for the transmission system and a dipstick for the engine. So because they have special sensors that actually feed the driver intel of the engine oil condition. So you want to go ahead and lose it and take a sample of it. But most of the times, 9 out of 10 times, the oil is due for replacement, and they haven't replaced it, so that is why it's having the full engine power no longer available to save the engine from catastrophic failure. That way to solve a full engine power no longer available is to service your Vanos solenoid. The Vanos solenoid often come in 2 because especially for most inline 6, but if it is V6, they're going to be 4. So you want to check them. The Vanos solenoid typically is a VVT solenoid in another name. So the Vanos solenoid is one of the critical components that ensures the power delivery of your BMW. So when it goes bad, it's the BMW DDME will not be able, the DME, sorry, will not be able to actuate the advance the timing or retard the timing based on your driving conditions and pattern. So when this happens, automatically the ECM is going to revert your engine operation and reduce it to avoid a catastrophic failure. So like I said, the Vanos solenoid is the guy who actually the ECM uses to actuate the function of advancing or retarding the timing of your car. So for it going bad, it's going to create a whole lot of symptoms. I created a video about it, so go ahead and watch it in my YouTube channel. I'm going to put the link here because this is a topic that's related to it. Number 4 way to solve your full engine power no longer available is to check the oil level. You can check that from the menu button in your steering console, and somewhere here. This is obviously a VW, not BMW, but they have something in common. They have W in common. So if the oil level is low, the ECM knows using the oil level sensor, and if the viscosity has dropped, it's also gonna know using that very same sensor, because it has two properties that makes it special to knowing the level as much as the viscosity. So if there is any decrease in any of these two criteria, it's going to reduce the engine power for the safe operation of the engine, pending when you get it fixed. 5th way to resolve full engine power no longer available is using a scan tool to check if your turbo is having underboost. If your turbo is having underboost, that's critically like having the turbo absence and it's just only the engine that is running. So this is for non-aspirated, non-natural aspirated engines, Beamers, BMW non-natural aspirated engines. And if you know about the turbo is actually there to improve the engine power and enhance its performance. It's like boosting it like 40%. So if it is not there, it means that if you're having a turbo lag or turbo underboost, it's like the turbo is there in spirit but not there in flesh. You don't want it to be there in spirit. You want it to be there both in spirit and flesh to participate, to improve the powerhouse critical components to complete the power airs. There's going to be a problem. So when the ECM notice or the DME notice that there is a drop in the pressure and the boost pressure of the turbo using the map sensor that is present inside the line there before going the intercooler, then it's going to reduce the engine power for safe operation. 6th way to resolve your full engine power no longer available, to scan your car and check for any map sensor damage, map sensor, because most of these guys here, this very component here, for natural aspirated engines, are going to be having encapsulated intake air temperature sensor there. And if this part is defective, instead of dumping huge fuel into the combustion chamber and make the engine to run poor while you're busy stepping on the gas pedal and hastening the engine to go far, the ECM will override some optimized function ability to be able to save your engine from catastrophic failure, and that is why you see full engine power no longer available. The 8th way to solve reduce full engine power no longer available is checking your transmission fluid. It's also boiled down to what I said at the context of this very video, that I don't have a dipstick, so most BMW owners with their busyness might not have the time to check it, but those who are practicing DIY will have time to check it. So if the transmission fluid is low, or the viscosity has dropped because it's overworn and has not been replaced for quite a long time, this is going to cause a problem with the engine performance, and this affecting the drivetrain. And when the TCM notices this very problem, it's going to allow the DME to reduce the engine power, because it's going to lead to damaging of the transmission system, which is expensive repair bills. So BMWs are very critical. They are very, very considerate in that, though they made some of their part with plastic that a lot of people complain a lot, but when it comes to engine failure or transmission failure, they are very, very concerned about it, and they don't want their customers to actually experience those, because it's going to really pull the rabbit out of their hat. So the next is, if you're finding that there is some sort of rattling noise inside your engine when it says reduce engine power, this could be as a result of a retarded timing chain, right, or to the timing belt. Any of this, which is the 9th way to solve it, is going to create under timing, or some sort of, even not only that, also, right, check for timing belt that is tweeted, check for loosed oils, insufficient oils, and the rest of them, right? Anything that hampers with the engine smooth operation or reduces the viscosity, including even a bad coolant temperature sensor, can also result in reduced engine power. So technically speaking, it's more like a whole health check that affects the engine performance. So I hope this helped you to fix it. If it doesn't, tune into my channel. On the next episode of Full Engine Power No Longer Available, I'm going to provide you with much more information than I did in this very episode. But in the previous two vehicles that I fixed, there are two different things that I fixed in those cars. One is underboost, and second is electronics other problems. So guys, be sure there is no any leakage within the booster lines of the turbo in your BMW. Alright? I hope you find this very video helpful, but I know definitely you're gonna solve it like 80% or 90%. This is like 90% cause of turbo full engine load no longer available. So guys, to give this video a thumbs up for more quick tip, healthy tip on how to keep your car fully functional. I remain Dr. Cool. Please share this video with other Beamers. Catch you later. Keep up with the spirit.